This is your morning brief for Thursday, March 14th. Canada and U.S. finally ground the Boeing 737 MAX 8 and MAX 9. I am really disappointed in this story that it took them so long. I'm glad to see Canada did it before the U.S., but they were still late relative to the rest of the world. Thoroughly disappointed in the U.S. that everyone else had to come out first. The U.S., used to be a leader in these kind of things. This really bothers me. They're willing to risk anything for profits. Your life, I'll just call it. It's fine. There's been 2 plane crashes, very similar on this aircraft. I could see from being an outsider, not in the business, that there's something wrong with that plane. Just from public information. And they say, we don't have enough data. No, you have enough data. 2 planes crashed. There's your data. In a very similar fashion. I don't get it. There was some politics for sure. There's former executives from Boeing in the State Department, in the Pentagon, and they just want to keep those planes flying for profit. And they don't care if people get on a faulty plane. And the only reason they did this, there's so much pressure from around the world that they finally had to get on board. I miss the days when the U.S. was a leader, and I hope that changes, that they become the leader again, because this is crazy. They're willing to risk people's lives. All right. I won't get through this if I keep ranting about that, but it's very upsetting to me. Badger Daylighting shines in earnings report. Shares rise 7%. Revenue was up 24%. EBITDA was up 29%. So this is a small Canadian company, $1.4 billion market cap. I'm bringing it up obviously because we follow this company. This is, doesn't make headline news around the world there, but it's a nice little company. I followed it for a long time. We recently got back into it, and we're already being rewarded. We've done a great job with this one. Just did a video on it. Please go watch that. Okay, Facebook facing criminal investigation. So, there's been a lot of pressure around Facebook on data breaches and privacy and all these things. I don't know that we knew there was an investigation, though. So, U.S. prosecutors investigating data deals that they struck with major tech companies. So we'll see what comes out of that. I think this is, just a slight raise in pressure on Facebook. Facebook's in the news twice. They also were experiencing outages yesterday. So you may have noticed some of your functions and Facebook weren't working. I noticed it a little bit, but not a big deal. But that'll be fixed. But it was a bit of a pain, and they might have to give some rebates. Okay. Dollar General misses earnings per share by 4 cents. Shares are down 6% in pre-market. They posted $1.84 versus $1.88 expectations. Revenue was a slight beat though, $6.65 billion versus $6.60 billion. Okay, so to me this is just an opportunity to buy the shares. There's a little pullback here. I might want to try and see if we can get a 2-day pullback. I'm playing on the margin here. And, I don't want to get too cute, but Dollar General is a great company. These results don't scare me that they missed by 4 cents on $1.84. That's percentage-wise. I can't do it in my head, but it's not that much. It's, almost nothing. And now shares have been up 35% in the trailing 12 months. So I understand why, if I had been in it, which I'm not, and I made, 35% in a year, and if you look over the 5 years, it's been fantastic. And you need some, when do I get out? And you look for it, and maybe this earnings report, because it's a slight miss. That makes some sense to me, but I just think the bigger opportunity is still there in front of them. So I would still be a buyer. If we can get it a little bit lower, that'd be great. But more on the buying. But you can play the trading game a little bit and maybe see if you can get it a little bit lower would be nice. But overall, long run, it's still good. I'd still buy it. U.S. and China trade meeting pushed out until April now. So I'm a little disappointed. I'm not entirely surprised. I think this is more coming from the China side. China official says they won't come to Mar-a-Lago as planned, and they want more of a formal meeting, which makes sense to me. That's the way Chinese people usually operate, their culture. They don't want to come out and just socialize at Mar-a-Lago and loosey-goosey. That's not their style, right? Now Trump says, "Oh, everything's fine. It's just some details." I don't buy that, and the person that really knows what they're talking about is Lighthizer. He's the main negotiator for the U.S., and he says there's major issues to work out, including the treatment of intellectual property, and that's what this whole thing to me is about for the U.S. I don't care about consumer goods coming over here and the farm tariffs and the soybeans. That should just be gone. That's just a waste of our time. The intellectual property, on the other hand, that needs to be sorted out, and I don't think it's so easy. It's going to take longer. All right. Last but not least, we have After Hours Broadcom. That's a big one. I really like that company. I've been following it for a while. Own it in some of our model portfolios. DocuSign's After Hours. I don't know it super well, but that's one of those hot, cloud kind of companies. Ulta Beauty. I really like this one. I've done a good job on that one as well. I think, I do have some reports on that one, so you can go. I think I have some on Broadcom as well, posted on our video website. Go take a look at those. Oracle and Adobe also after the close. So a lot of news there. Tried to squeeze it all in a reasonable amount of time. That's your morning brief. Let's go find some gems.